On our 15th year's wedding anniversary, my husband gave me divorce papers instead of a gift. 15 years is long enough, he announced in front of all our guests. I want someone young now, and you need to be out of the beach house by tomorrow. He seemed to have forgotten that my parents gifted me that beach house. His mother, Viola Carr, just smiled silently. Yeah, I rose, took the microphone, and said something that left him speechless. That night, Maya Rivera woke up to whispers from behind the bedroom door. Her husband, Julian Carr, was on the phone with his mother again at 1 a.m. His voice sounded strangely excited. Maya lay still in the dark, catching snippets of the conversation. We have to do this right, Julian's voice insisted. She won't suspect a thing. Of course not, son, his mother replied. Maya tensed. What were they plotting in secret? And why now? Just a few weeks before their milestone anniversary. The hardwood floor creaked as Julian returned to the room. Maya quickly shut her eyes, pretending to be asleep. He slipped into bed carefully, but she could feel his body was stiff, restless. The next morning, everything felt odd. Julian was unnaturally affectionate. Maya, my love, he said, kissing her cheek. He smelled of expensive cologne. How about we choose the restaurant for our anniversary today? I want everything to be perfect. Perfect. Maya raised an eyebrow. In 15 years of marriage, Julian had never been so enthusiastic about a family celebration. She always organized everything, and he only found fault. Fine, she replied carefully, watching him rush off to work. His cell phone was on the nightstand, the screen lit up with a notification. Maya couldn't help but look. It was a calendar reminder. Call Kay at 10:15 a.m., she asked casually, watering the window. Plants. Who's the S you have in your contacts? Julian spun around abruptly. For a second, Maya saw panic flash in his eyes, but he quickly calmed himself. Ah, Catherine, a colleague from Seattle, just consulting him on a work issue. A lie. Maya knew her husband like the back of her hand. When he lied, his left. I always twitched, just as it was doing now. I see, she replied with a smile. But deep inside, her chest tightened. Once he left, Maya stood by the window, gazing at the gray October sky over Georgetown. 15 years they met in college. She was a brilliant accounting student. He was an up-and-coming manager. They married for love, dreaming of children and a big family. But children never came. Doctors found nothing wrong, but the miracle never happened. Julian took it hard, especially when his mother, Viola, started making passive-aggressive comments about grandchildren. In time, they accepted being childless and focused on the positives. More time for themselves, for travel, and for career. Advancement. But something vital had shifted between them. A knock on the door pulled her from her thoughts. Standing there was Viola Carr, her mother-in-law, with her usual frigid smile. Maya, dear, she said, entering the condo without waiting for any invitation. How are you? Are you preparing for the party? Viola always treated Maya with exaggerated courtesy. but maintained a great distance. In 15 years of marriage, she never once called Maya her daughter. Slowly but surely, Maya replied, leading her to the living room. Julian wants to celebrate at a restaurant. Very good, Viola responded brightly. A respectable venue with guests. Doing everything at home just doesn't show how important the date is. She began looking around the living room as if evaluating it. Maya knew that look. It always made her feel, without a single word being spoken, that. Viola's suburban mansion was larger and better decorated. By the way, Maya dear, Viola said, settling into an armchair, I've been thinking about the future. Julian is not so young anymore. He's 53. And, well, we don't have grandchildren, don't you? Think it would be a good idea to write a will for the grandkids just in case? Maya felt a chill. What grandchildren, Viola? We don't have children. Well, for my nephews, she said dismissively, waving her hand. I have two nephews, good boys, studying, working. If we don't, the government will take everything. Maya slowly placed her teacup on this table. And where do you keep the beach house papers? Viola suddenly asked, as if it were a casual afterthought. I'm just thinking about the boys' future, the nephews, the young people. That was it. Maya understood the subtext. They're in the safe, she replied dryly. But why do you ask? Oh, just in case. You never know what might happen. It's good to know where things are. When Viola finally left, Maya sat in, silence piecing things together. The late night call, Julian's strange burst of affection, and now Viola's pointed questions about the house title. Bit by bit, the puzzle was forming, and she did not like the picture. She went to check Julian's computer. He had never changed the password before. He always used a simple key, the date they met, but it didn't work this time. Her heart raced. In 15 years, he had never kept secrets from her. She tried his birthday. Nothing. She tried his mother's. Nope. Then it occurred to her to try their wedding date, but in reverse. It worked. The browser history opened, and what she saw gave her a knot in her stomach. How to divorce when shared assets exist. Spousal rights in property division. Legal advice for separation. He had searched all of this over the past 2 weeks. With trembling fingers, she scrolled page after page. How to keep the beach house in a divorce. Legal tricks for dividing assets. Suddenly, her phone rang. It was her friend Fiona. Maya, you won't believe what I saw. You're Julian. I saw him at a jeweler's in Tyson's Galleria with a young woman. They were looking at rings. What did she look like? Maya interrupted softly. About 30, blonde, very put together, wearing a super expensive coat. Pretty, but she looked superficial. And they were so openly affectionate. Are you okay, Maya? Yes, Maya lied. Everything's fine. But nothing was fine. That evening, Julian returned with a bouquet of roses and a box of fancy chocolates. For my one and only true love, he said, confidently kissing her lips. One and only. How ironic, Maya thought. She looked him straight in the eye. We need to talk seriously about our future. Julian tensed. It was subtle, but she saw it. Talk about what? He asked, turning on the TV, pretending to be absorbed in the programming. Everything's fine, right? The anniversary is in 1 week. All our friends will be there. Let's not spoil the mood with serious topics. We'll talk. After the party. Okay. After the party. That meant something big was planned for the party itself. Maya nodded, feigning acceptance, but felt an icy coldness within. After 15 years, she knew her husband well. He was preparing something calmly and coldly involving his mother. And surely, a lawyer. What Julian didn't know was that Maya had an ace up her sleeve, something that could unravel all his plans. And for now, she wasn't going to tell him a thing. The next day, Maya woke up with a knot in her stomach, as if a terrible tragedy had struck the day before. And she was just learning to live with it. Julian left early without breakfast. I have a meeting, he said. A meeting? Maya thought bitterly. She knew exactly who that meeting was with. At 10:15 a.m., the home phone rang. Julian had forgotten his cell phone, leaving it face down in the kitchen. Maya didn't answer, but the answering machine recorded the message. Jay, it's Mom. I spoke to Mr. Dalton. Everything can be arranged. The important thing is that she doesn't suspect anything until the very last moment. Call me when you're free. Dalton, the supposed Seattle colleague. Now it all made sense. Maya felt the ground give way beneath her. 15 years beside a man who was now planning his betrayal, like office paperwork. She approached Julian's phone. It required a 6-digit code. She tried the date they met, September 1st, 1988. Nope. She tried Viola's birthday. Nothing. Then she remembered the blonde from the jewelers. Her intuition told her to try March 17th International. Women's Day, it worked. The lover's birthday. The text confirmed everything. Lila, my love, a little more patience. After the anniversary, everything will be resolved. The beach house will be ours. Jay, you said we'd be living together by New Year's. I'm tired of hiding. My love, everything is going. According to plan, Mom has already taken care of things. Maya suspects nothing. Dalton says, if we play this right, she'll only get half. I'll keep the condo. Maya slumped into a chair, her hands shaking. They were planning her life as if she were a piece of second-hand property. Julian, his mother, the lawyer Dalton, the mistress Lila, all tangled in a trap where she was the prey. And the worst was yet to come. Hey, Mom, are you sure the condo title is in both our names? Maybe we got lucky and it's just mine. Son, I saw the copies when you bought it. Both names are on it, but Dalton says there are ways. The important thing is she signs. The waiver. And if she won't sign, she will sign. After what we're going to do to her at the party, she won't have any other option. What did they plan to do to her? Maya felt anxiety rising in her throat. They were going to humiliate her in front of everyone, accuse her of something. Without wasting time, she copied all the important messages to her own phone and put Julian's phone back where she found it. She needed a plan. She needed help. She called Tessa Grant, her college friend, now a family attorney. They didn't talk often, but their friendship remained strong. Maya, Tessa said when she answered, "Long time no talk. How are you?" "Can we meet today?" Maya asked, trying to sound calm. "I need a consultation." "Sure, I'm free at 7. Come to the office and we'll talk." Tessa's office was downtown in a modern high rise. She greeted Maya with a hug, but immediately noticed the tension. "Sit down. Tell me everything. What happened?" Maya took a deep breath. "Let's just say, an acquaintance of mine is having trouble with her husband. He wants a divorce, but is hiding it, and it seems he's setting a trap." Tessa looked at her intently. "You sure this is a hypothetical acquaintance, Maya?" Maya was silent for a few seconds, then told her everything. The late-night calls, the phone messages, Lila, her, mother-in-law's scheming, everything. Tessa listened, occasionally asking for clarification. "I understand," she said finally. "This is serious, but you're not lost. The good news is you reacted in time. Tell me about the house. When did you buy it? Whose name is on the title?" "We put both names on it in 2000, equal shares." "Are you formally employed?" "Yes, I'm the controller at Horizon Development Group. I've been there for 14 years and the weekend cabin is also in both names, but it's not worth much. The beach house is the main asset." Tessa jotted down notes. "Maya, they can't do anything to you if you keep a clear head. In a divorce, everyone receives what is legally theirs. No one can force you to waive your share. But it's clear they are planning something dirty. They want to put you in a weak emotional position, a scandal, an accusation, something to break you. You need to be ready. How do I prepare? Gather evidence. Take photos of the messages. Record conversations if you can. Move some of the money into an account only in your name. Most importantly, don't let them know that you know what they're doing." Maya nodded. For the first time in days, she felt something close to relief. She had a plan. She had support. "Thanks, Tessa. How much do I owe you?" Tessa smiled. "Nothing, friend. We don't bill for this. Just keep me in the loop. And remember, no matter what happens, you are not alone or defenseless." Maya returned home determined to act. But what she found upon arrival confirmed the war had already begun. Julian was by the entrance checking himself in the mirror. "You look kind of run down today, huh?" he blurted out, without looking at her directly. "Forgive me, but yes, Maya, you've let yourself go a bit lately. Look, turning 50 isn't the end of the world, but you need to take care of yourself. Go to the gym, see the dermatologist, get something done." "I saw Fiona's daughter today. She's 30 but looks 25, very polished. And you?" "Well, you understand." He was comparing her to younger women, setting the stage to justify his betrayal. "I have a meeting tomorrow," he announced, suddenly. "It's Saturday, but it will take all day. Another date with Lila." "That's fine," Maya replied calmly. "And Sunday, I'm going with Mom. I'm going to set up her new smart TV, spending time with the trader's family." That night, when Julian was in the shower, Maya reviewed their joint bank account online. In the last month, $50,000 had been withdrawn in several transactions. Gifts for Leela, payments to the lawyer, and who knows what else. All with their shared money. Maya let out a nervous, brittle laugh. They were using her own money to plan her downfall, but she had an ace up her sleeve, something they didn't know. A week prior, a letter had arrived from a notary. Her aunt, Josefina, her father's older sister, had passed away in Germany. She had no children or spouse. She left her entire estate to Maya, her only niece. This included a beach house in Munich valued at one point 4 million US dollars equivalent, a bank account with $550,000 USD equivalent, another luxury investment condo in Miami Beach, Florida. Total value over $2.8 million. Maya hadn't told anyone. She wanted to surprise Julian on their anniversary, but now that money and property were her. Salvation? She opened her laptop and began researching how to register the inheritance, transfer the funds to her personal account, and legally protect herself from the people who saw her as a fool. Julian thought he held all the cards, but the game was just beginning. On Monday, Maya woke up with a clear plan. First, she visited a notary, but not the one handling her aunt's case. She went to see an old acquaintance, Mr. Lawson, the real estate lawyer who had helped them purchase the condo years ago. Maya Rivera, how many years? And how is Julian Carr doing? Mr. Lawson, an older gentleman, greeted her with a smile. Mr. Lawson, I need your help, she said, entering his office. But it has to be strictly confidential. The lawyer's face grew serious. Sit down. I'm listening. Do you remember our condo on M Street in Georgetown? You did the title work in 2000. Of course, a very good unit in a fine building. Do you recall who purchased it first? I mean, where did the money come from? Mr. Lawson frowned, opened an old file, and searched for a moment. Here it is. It was an unusual case. The money came directly from your parents' account, and in the deed of gift, you are listed as the sole recipient. Julian was added. 2 months later, as your husband, Maya felt a surge of warmth in her chest. So, it's formally a premarital asset. Formally, yes, your parents gifted it to you before Julian's name appeared on the documents. In case of divorce, that can make all the difference. He could only claim something if he proves he invested in major renovations. Maya smiled faintly. Julian never spent a dime on the condo. She had done everything herself. Could you give me a confirming document? Of course. Come back tomorrow afternoon. It will be ready. Leaving the office, Maya felt different. After so many days, she finally felt strong, protected. But what awaited her at home left her breathless. A courier delivered a thick envelope from Germany. The final papers for Aunt Josefina's inheritance. Maya read the lines with the help of a summary. A condo in Munich valued at $1.4 million. A bank account with $550,000. And the luxury investment condo in Miami Beach. more than $2.8 million in total. She sat in the living room. She was now a wealthy, independent, free woman. But Julian shouldn't know. Not yet. Her phone rang. It was Julian, his voice, overly cheerful. Maya, my love, I was thinking, what if we really celebrate our anniversary? Colleagues, friends, everyone. Why such a big deal, Jay? Why? It's 15 years anniversary. I want everyone to see what a perfect family we have. I already reserved the ballroom at the Watergate Hotel for 125 people. 125 people for her public. Humiliation. Isn't that expensive, Julian? We're supposed to be saving. Don't worry about it, he interrupted. The money is there. The important thing is the impression. We'll invite my boss, yours. Everyone needs to see how happy we are. What a cynical lie. Fine, Maya said calmly. Whatever you say. Perfect. I have a meeting with some partners. We'll talk tonight. Partners. Maya knew what that meant. In the afternoon, Viola Carr arrived with a gift. Maya, dear, she said in a sugary voice, handing her an envelope. This is from me to you. It was a consultation with an excellent family lawyer. Just in case, you never know. Maya opened the envelope, a business card. John and Associates, divorce, and property law with a note. Free consultation anytime. The audacity. They were giving her a consultation with the very lawyer who was planning her betrayal. Thank you, Maya said dryly, very thoughtful. I worry about you, daughter. Daughter. For the first time in 15 years, her mother-in-law called her that just before stabbing her in the back. After Viola left, Maya began to clean. In one of Julian's jackets, she found a crumpled card. Mr. Dalton, family law, divorce, asset division, alimony. The same lawyer, the same plan. Julian came home late that night, cheerful and smelling of expensive perfume. He hugged Maya. Everything is ready. Restaurant, menu, guests. It will be unforgettable. Maya looked at him coldly. He was, right? It was going to be unforgettable. Just not the way he imagined. Jay, what? Cologne? Are you wearing? That's not yours? Uh, he hesitated. I got on the elevator with the neighbor. She wears a very strong perfume, and it clung to my jacket. One lie after another. By the way, he said, walking toward the window. At the anniversary, I'm going to give a special speech about our life and our future plans. What plans? You'll see. It's a surprise. A surprise. Maya felt a chill. She couldn't sleep that night. Around 1 o'clock a.m., she heard a murmur. Julian was on the phone in the hallway. She got up quietly and pressed her ear to the bedroom door. Mom, everything is perfect. The restaurant is booked. Guests are confirmed. After the toast, it will all just happen. Are you sure she doesn't suspect anything? How would she suspect? She's naive like a child. She's always trusted me, and she still does. And if she doesn't want to sign the papers, she will sign. After what I tell her in front of everyone, she'll have no other option. Everyone will see what she's really like, you know? Jay? Don't you think it would be better to do it privately at home without a scene? No, Mom. It has to be in front of everyone. That way, she won't be able to make a scene or demand explanations. She'll go straight home, and John will be waiting for her there with the papers. Quick, clean, and no drama. And Lila already knows. Of course. She's even coming to the anniversary. I want her to meet my colleagues. I'm going to introduce her as my new assistant. You're cruel. It's not cruelty, Mom. It's being practical. 15 years was enough. I deserve to be happy too, even if it's at her expense. Maya went back to bed, but couldn't sleep. So Lila was going to be at the party too. She was going to witness the humiliation of her rival and then take her place in the home. That's what they thought. In the morning, Maya went to the bank. She opened a personal account and transferred half of the money from the joint savings. If Julian wanted to continue spending on his mistress, he would do it with his half. Then she went to the lawyer for the document, confirming that the condo was hers from before the marriage. Next, she went to work. Mr. Kim, she said to her boss, entering his office. Can I speak with you? Of course, Maya Rivera. Is everything all right? Everything is fine for now. I just wanted to warn you that I will soon be entering a difficult personal phase. Divorce? He asked, frowning. Seriously? I thought you two were solid. You even invited me to your anniversary. That's exactly why I want to warn you. If things go wrong, I hope I can count on your support. My work won't be affected. You are the best controller we've had in 15 years. Whatever happens, your job is safe. That night, while Julian was at another meeting, Maya took out the inheritance documents. She needed a clear, well-thought-out plan. The Miami Beach condo was empty. Aunt Josefina had rented it out, but the contract had ended a month ago. Maya could move there after the divorce. With the money in the German bank, she had financial independence for years. And most importantly, the document proving the DC condo was hers from before the marriage. Julian would never see that coming. Tomorrow was the anniversary. He thought he would deliver the final blow, but he was the one about to be blindsided. Maya put all the papers in the safe and smiled. Thursday morning, she went to the German consulate. She needed to formalize the inheritance to access Aunt Josefina's accounts. The consul, an older gentleman with a neatly trimmed beard, reviewed the documents carefully. Everything in order, Mrs. Rivera. Your aunt was a very prudent woman. The bank accounts will be unlocked in 1 week. And regarding the Miami Beach condo, ownership passes to your name immediately. Here are the papers. You can dispose of it as you wish. Maya carefully put the documents in her bag. She now owned 3 properties, over $1 million in cash, and most valuable of all, complete freedom. That same day, she opened another account in euros. 2. Prepare for the international transfer. The bank advisor, a young woman, looked at the numbers in the papers with wide eyes. Wow, you did very well with the inheritance, didn't you? Yes, Maya smiled. My aunt was an incredible woman. Leaving the bank, she felt a weight lift from her. For the first time in years, she felt truly free and independent. She no longer cared what Julian planned. That was no longer her problem. But the surprise waiting for her outside the Watergate Hotel was a sharp blow. She had gone to check on the anniversary party arrangements, and right by the entrance, a young blonde woman in an expensive coat was talking on the phone. Jay, my love, it's incredible, Lila was saying in a sickly sweet voice. The ballroom is huge. The decor is divine. You promised we'd live in a huge condo soon, and I can already imagine hosting parties there. It was Lila, her husband's mistress. She was only a few feet away, talking excitedly about the life she would have with him. Maya stood still, watching her. There was no doubt she was pretty, about 30, great figure, well-kept hair, perfect nails, but her eyes were empty, cold, and calculating. Of course, I understand tomorrow will be difficult, Lila continued. But you said after your speech she'd understand everything and I'll be there as your new assistant. Romantic, right? Publicly. Humiliating your wife is romantic. Maya walked closer. Excuse me, do you know where the manager is? Lila turned, looked Maya up and down with disdain. No idea, she replied coldly. I don't work here. She returned to her phone. Jay, there's some lady asking me questions here. Okay, see you tonight. I love you. Some lady? Maya smiled to herself. Tomorrow, this lady would deliver a big surprise. The restaurant manager, a kindly, plump woman, received Maya with a smile. You're here about tomorrow's anniversary. Mr. Carr already paid for everything. Ballroom for 125 people. Banquet. Live music. And how much did all that cost? $55,000. Your husband requested the best of the best. $55,000 to humiliate her in public. Maya nodded. I see. Can I see the ballroom? Yes. The room was luxurious. High, ceilings, crystal chandeliers, immaculate white tablecloths, enormous mirrors on the walls. All the guests would have a perfect view of the spectacle. Where will the microphone for the toasts be? Maya asked. Right here in the center, the manager said. Mr. Carr insisted that everyone hear him, of course, so no one misses the humiliation. At home, Julian was, waiting, nervous, pacing with the paper in his hand. Ah, Maya, he said, quickly putting the paper away. Where were you? At the restaurant, checking everything. What did you think of it? Impressive. $55,000 for one night. Seriously, Jay, don't you think that's too much? We have other plans, right? Don't worry about it, he scoffed. The money is there. The important thing is to make a good impression on the guests or on the mistress. That night, Viola Carr arrived, completely excited. Jason, are you ready? Did you rehearse your speech? Of course, Mom. Everything will be perfect. Don't worry. She patted his shoulder. Your speech will be a success. Everyone. We'll see that you made the right decision. The right decision. Maya watched them. From the kitchen, the rage building inside. Mom, what if she makes a scene? Julian asked. She won't, Viola replied confidently. With so many people, She'll hold it together. She's an educated woman. They'll settle. Things at home. And John, is he ready? Yes, the papers are done. All she needs to do is sign. After your speech, she'll have no choice. Maya quietly went to the bedroom and took her own papers from the drawer. She had everything ready. She put all the documents into a small folder. The paper. Stayed that night. Julian locked himself in his study. Maya heard him murmuring lines, rehearsing. She stood near the door, listening. Dear friends, today is a special day. 15 years ago, I made a choice that seemed right. But people change, and sometimes you must admit mistakes. Mistakes. He called 25 years a mistake. I thank Maya for these years, but honesty demands I tell the truth. We are different people with different paths, and I have decided. The rest faded, but the intent was clear. Morning came. Maya, he said at the mirror, adjusting his tie. Today is a big day. Yes, our anniversary. Not just that. He smiled oddly. Tomorrow, everything changes. Completely? You'll see. Julian, one question. Did you ever really love me? He froze. What a strange thing to ask today. Of course I loved you, and I still do, in my own way, in his own way, like a man fond of a chair that's outlived its use. I understand, Maya said softly. All day, calls, lists, orders. He buzzed with nervous energy. By evening, he was taut as wire. Ready, Maya? She stood in a new midnight blue dress, calm and composed. Ready. She slipped her purse over her shoulder, the folder inside. Title confirmation, inheritance papers, bank statements. They drove in silence through a glittering city. Years ago, silence meant anticipation. Tonight, it felt like the hush before a battle. Maya, he said as they arrived, whatever happens, I wish you the best. Thank you, Jay, she replied evenly, and I hope you receive exactly what you've earned. The Watergate ballroom blazed. White roses, gold candles, 100 guests. At the head table, smiles and congratulations. Inside, Maya was still. The blow would land any minute. You look stunning, said Marina, a coworker. 15 years. So romantic. Yes, Maya replied, scanning the room. All of it. Very unexpected. In the corner stood Lila, introduced as Julian's new assistant young, flawless, expensive dress, easy grin. She chatted with colleagues as if nothing were amiss. Mr. Carr, congratulations, said Mr. Michael Boudreau, the CEO. One rarely sees such steady couples. Thank you, Julian said, shaking his hand. I've prepared a very special speech. A speech. Maya's mouth went dry. Viola Carr floated table to table, basking in praise for her good son and his ideal wife. She knew what was coming. At a back table sat a sober man in a dark suit, Mr. Dalton. Maya recognized him instantly. The lawyer was present to collect a signature. Ladies and gentlemen, the MC called. May I have your attention? Mr. Carr would like to say a few words in honor of his wife. Silence spread like ink. Julian rose, took the mic, and beamed. Friends, thank you for being here on this important day. 25 years is no small thing, glasses lifted. I've reflected on what brought us joy and what did not. And I realized something. People change. What feels right when you're young can prove to be a mistake. The room tightened, puzzled looks passing from table to table. A quarter century ago, I chose a partner guided by youthful emotion. Life has given me clarity. Julian, Maya whispered. What are you saying? The truth, he said. It's time to stop pretending. He faced the guests, voice firm. For 15 years, I lived with a woman who isn't right for me. A gray, dull person who never learned how to be the partner of a successful man. Guests cracked the hush. Are you out of your mind? Someone barked. Not at all, he answered coolly. I am thinking clearly. Our marriage is over. I'm filing for divorce. A stunned silence, hands to mouths. Viola smiled like a cat in cream. Furthermore, Julian said, emboldened, I want a fair division. Maya must leave the beach house. It's time for a new life. His eyes flicked to Lila, who hid a small, victorious curl of the lip. Is this a joke? A woman demanded. Are you sane? Mr. Budrow shot, jaw set. Perfectly. Maya will receive what the law dictates. We'll separate amicably. And that young woman, your new conquest? Someone shouted, pointing. Lila is a wonderful person, Julian replied. She understands me. Unlike some people. That was enough. Maya rose without haste, fingers light on the mic. Thank you, Julian, she said, voice gentle. Very honest. The room fell utterly still. People braced for tears, a dash to the door. Friends? Maya continued pleasantly. He's right about one thing. Enough lies. Let's have the truth. Julian's brow pinched. This wasn't in his script. The truth is, I've known about this scheme for 3 weeks, she said. I know about Lila, about Mr. John. He's right there. And about your plan to make me waive my rights to the house. John blanched, edging for the exit. Guests blocked him with folded arms. Maya, what are you talking about? Julian tried, hand outstretched. That it's over, dear, she said, sliding a folder from her purse. You missed one detail. The house is not joint property. My parents gifted it to me in my name before marriage. Here's the confirmation from the original title. Attorney Julian staggered half a step. That can't be. And another thing, Maya said. 3 weeks ago, I received an inheritance from my Aunt Josefina in Germany, a condo in Munich, a luxury condo in Miami Beach, and over $1 million in cash. Silence thundered. So, Jay, what division are you envisioning? You'll get half the cabin and half your car. Everything else is mine. Lila pressed against the wall, color draining from her face. And now, a fun note, Maya added lightly. Do you know how much your successful man spent to stage this public humiliation? $55,000 from our joint savings. Murmurs sharpened to anger. But I'm not cruel. Maya went on. Julian, you're free. Take your wonderful woman and live wherever you please, just not in my condo. Wait, he whispered. We can talk. There's nothing to discuss, Maya said. I'm filing tomorrow. Mr. Dalton, you can go. You won't be needed. She turned to the guests. I'm sorry your evening was hijacked, but the truth matters more than appearances. Thank you for coming. Now you know who is who. She set the mic down and headed for the doors. Behind her, the ballroom detonated. You're a disgrace, someone yelled at Julian. 25 years, and this? Lila tried to slip away. Furious guests boxed her in. Homewrecker, one woman spat. You thought it'd be easy? Viola fluttered explanations and no one wanted. Through the windows, Maya glimpsed the house of cards toppling. Julian stood in the center like an actor who forgot his lines. The mic on the floor, people shouting around him. Mr. Boudreau strode over. Mr. Carr, I'm deeply disappointed. We'll be reevaluating your position. Sir, it's not what it looks like, Julian stammered. Maya twisted. Twisted? Marina snapped. We all heard you. In another corner, Lila grabbed Julian's sleeve. What's happening? You promised me a condo. Where's the money for our new life? Not here, he hissed. We'll talk later. Talk? She barked, laugh turning harsh. You have no house, no cash. You conned me. She swiveled to the room. Want the truth? He promised me riches for months, bought jewelry with his wife's money, said we'd live downtown in luxury. Lila, stop, Julian begged, but she was rolling. And he took loans with joint assets as collateral. 20,000 from Chase, 15 from Wells. He thought his wife would never know. A hush heavier than anger. Even Maya hadn't known that piece. Viola rushed in, rattled for the first time. Son, what is this? Loans? Inheritance? Not now, Mom, he muttered. Not now, she snapped. I mortgaged my own home to fund that lawyer. And now what? Even his mother had skinned herself for the scheme. So, to be clear, a guest said, voice cutting, the three of you conspired to fleece Maya. 3? 4, Lila chimed, venom sweet. Include the lawyer. He planned to force her waver head swiveled toward the back, but John was gone. Snake, Viola seethed, lunging at Lila. You ruined my son. Me? Lila fired back. Your son groomed me. He called his wife a fool he could manipulate. A scuffle almost broke. Guests stepped in. What shame, someone said loudly. Doesn't Maya work for you, Mr. Budrow? She does, he said crisply. Best controller I've had in 14 years. After this circus, the only thing I'll do is raise her salary. As for him, he can find another job. People, please, Julian shouted over the din. I have a right to be happy. And you think that means trampling someone who loved you for 15 years? Said Aunt Clarice, a relative of Maya's, voice trembling with fury. Family clustered. What a disgrace. You don't belong among us. Thank God Maya learned the truth. This needs to go online, a young guest said. Phone's already up. Hashtag silver anniversary trader, someone suggested. No, no, don't. This is private, Julian yelped. Private? Lila laughed. You humiliated your wife before 100 people. One by one, the guests left. Maya's family, her co-workers, neighbors, acquaintances, dropping parting verdicts like stones. Don't say you know me, a colleague muttered to Julian. Trash, growled another. Half an hour later, only the wreckage remained. Julian, Viola, Lila, and curious waitstaff. Now what? Lila asked, smoothing her hair. Do you have any money at all? From where? He snapped. It went to the party, gifts, loans. Sell the car. The car? She laughed bitterly. That won't touch it. And me? I left my ex for you. I don't know, Julian whispered. I don't know. Viola sank into a chair, face in hands. And what do I tell John? He bills for every call, and I put my house up as collateral. Mom, Julian pleaded, we'll figure it out. Figure it out? She lifted red eyes. At my age? I'm nearly homeless because of your foolishness. Lila stood, lifted her purse. You know what? I'm done. You two are useless. Jay, don't call me again. And the money you owe for the last 3 months? Keep it. Consider it tuition. She paused, glanced at the door, then back. Your wife is formidable. Pity I only met the real her today. Women like that deserve respect. Her heels ticked away. Maybe it's not too late, Viola whispered. What if we ask Maya for forgiveness? Julian stared at the torn room. Too late, Mom. He rubbed his temples. You saw her face. Then what will we do? I don't know, he said for the third time. I swear I don't know. Meanwhile, Maya rode home, city lights flashing by, the folder heavy and safe in her lap. The driver peered into the mirror. Beautiful night, isn't it? Yes, she smiled. A beautiful night. Some days change everything, he said. They do, she answered. Everything changed. 3 months later, Maya sat in court watching a life unravel. Julian looked a decade older, gray at the temples, face drawn, cheap suit replacing his usual tailored ones. The judge, an older woman with glasses, paged through the file. Very well, she said at last. The court finds that the condo on M Street is the separate premarital property of Mrs. Maya Rivera and is not subject to division. Panic flickered in Julian's eyes. His lawyer, no longer Dalton, but a young public defender, spread empty hands. The cabin is marital property. It will be split. The BMW is likewise to be divided. Your Honor, the lawyer tried. My client used that vehicle for work. Denied, the judge said evenly. It was purchased with joint funds. Maya remained quiet. Tessa gave her a small, satisfied nod. Furthermore, the judge continued, Mr. Julian Carr concealed significant debts. $20,000 at Chase, $15,000 at Wells Fargo, $8,000 in a quick loan, $43,000 total. Those are personal, the defense protested. Under Section 39, the judge replied, debts incurred in marriage are presumptively joint. However, as funds were not used for family welfare, but for the petitioner's personal affairs, he shall be solely responsible. Julian went whiter. This court dissolves the marriage between Julian Carr and Maya Rivera, the judge concluded. Respondent retains the condo and her accounts. Petitioner retains half of the cabin's value and half the car's value. No alimony, no minor children. The gavel fell. Outside, sunlight felt like fresh water. Maya, Julian called from the steps, clutching a folder. Wait, she turned. What do you want to say? Forgive me, he said hoarsely. I was selfish. You didn't deserve it, Maya studied him. Was it remorse or theater? Julian, she said calmly, I don't hold a grudge. We're different. You wanted comfort at others' expense. I fight for what's mine. Can we be friends? No, Maya replied gently but firm. It's better we go our own ways. She walked to her car, an elegant Audi she'd bought with part of her German inheritance. Life carried on, and people reaped what they'd sown. A month later, Julian lost his job. The party video had gone viral. The CEO had no appetite for scandal. You're competent, Mr. Boudreaux said that last day. But reputation matters. Job hunting was brutal. Recognition at every interview. The hashtag Silver Anniversary Trader following him around. He ended up driving a taxi in an old Honda he had to buy back from Maya for half $18,000. He moved into Viola's cramped one-bedroom on the city's edge. She'd sold her mansion to pay debt and downsize. If only you'd listened, she murmured at night, staring at hairline cracks in the plaster. If only you'd left Lila alone. Too late, Mom, he said, counting fares. Too late for regrets. As for Lila, she landed on her feet. 2 months after the scandal, she married a 55-year-old restaurateur, wealthy, not particularly savvy, who believed her tale of a toxic affair. Photos glittered with gold jewelry and towering bouquets. Finally found true love, her caption read. Julian scrolled and gave a bitter half-smile. She got what she wanted, money. Just not from him. Maya's life unfolded differently. She moved to the Miami Beach condo, windows full of sea and light. She'd had enough of ledgers. With her inheritance, she opened a boutique press translating European literature, her quiet, lifelong dream. "We'll miss you," Mr. Kim said when she resigned, "but I'm proud of you." After what happened, many women here look up to you. One evening, Tessa visited. "You look at peace," she said, taking in the cozy room. "Feel vindicated?" "Not vengeance," Maya answered thoughtfully. "Relief. I defended my rights. Truth wins, even if it takes time." They sipped tea on the balcony as Miami flickered awake. "Do you regret the 15 years?" "No," Maya said. "They taught me to rely on myself and to prize honesty above everything." Her press grew. 5 gifted young translators, slim, beautiful books for readers who love good prose. "Your story is special," said Anna, her editor. "My mom was at that anniversary. She works with your ex's firm. She says there aren't many like you." "I'm not extraordinary," Maya replied. "I just refuse to be a victim." A year later, a letter arrived from Julian. "Maya, you were the best thing that happened to me. I lost you to greed. I don't ask forgiveness. I only hope you have the world you deserve." She filed it away. No anger, no ache, just a page from an older chapter. That night, she stepped onto the terrace with coffee. Music drifted from somewhere below. The air smelled like flowers and salt. She was free, solvent, doing the work she loved. For the first time in years, she felt truly happy. Across the city, Julian guided his taxi through neon streets, passengers chattering about weekends and weddings and football scores. He thought about how you can lose everything in a single night, and how truth, slow or swift, always catches up. Did you enjoy the story? Which city are you listening from? Tell me in the comments. Let's talk below. If you liked it, a little super thanks helps me bring more. On screen, you'll see 2 new life stories I recommend. There's a lot more on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one with love and respect.